I just thought, and for like the first 2 weeks, I was like, damn, must be working out really good because I can like see like a nice six pack, like it's nice and like chiseled. I look great. And then like I started looking at myself and I'm like, why am I like, my whole body's getting like smaller. Like my legs are like small, my pants weren't fitting anymore. So it's constant thinking about your blood sugar,
Okay.
constant anxiety around it. Always wanting to make sure that you're in like the good zone of blood sugar because it's just an extra like 100 things to think about a day. But it goes to show, just if stuff gets thrown your way in life, just take it, evaluate it, figure it out, and just come back stronger. Just figure out a way to defeat it, make yourself better, and just live life to the fullest and keep kicking ass. You know, nothing can hold you back. It's just all about you and how you handle it mentally, and it's all about attitude.
What's up, everybody? This is Jake from Inspiring Leaders Collective, and I'm here today to bring you a very special interview that I did with an old friend of mine, Wendell Butler, or Dell, who about a year ago was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes totally out of the blue. Lately, I noticed he's been posting a lot of content, some of it inspirational and some of it informative, so I wanted to bring him on as soon as I could to talk to him. Now, whether you are somebody who just wants to extend your knowledge a little further, or if you're a coach who works with clients daily, I think this is going to be a great discussion for you that goes over the difficulties of living with diabetes, the differences between type 1 and type 2, and the importance of specifying between type 1 and type 2. Now, the key topic of discussion is going to be misconceptions that people have about diabetes, but we'll also get into how it's affected Dell's lifestyle and how it's affected his overall outlook on things. Dell has always been a great guy. He's always seen things with a positive light, and he's always had a little bit of an inspirational side. I think this experience has really brought that out of him. So let's go see what he has to say.
All right. What's up, Dell? Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been quite some time.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's kind of surreal talking to you. But how's your Thanksgiving?
You know, it was good. As you know, like with COVID and everything, we kept it small. So it's just small family get together, but it was nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to kind of just have a small, more casual type thing rather than a huge family thing. But
yeah, I hear you, man. It's definitely a different year for holidays. Went well still. So yeah, for people that don't know you, we've known each other for a long time, but just give us a background about yourself. You know, what you do for work, what you do for fun.
Yep. My name is Wendell Butler. Basically, me and Jake know each other from high school. We used to do like ski club and stuff together, and we've grown apart a bit since we saw each other in high school. We went separate ways, and he kind of did his own thing. I did my own thing. Currently, I am a loan officer assistant at Envoy Mortgage, so I help people get like residential loans for their homes and stuff. I'm currently working towards getting licensed as a loan officer, and I'm utilizing what I learned there to start investing in real estate as my main goal and my main business idea in the future. I live in Worcester, Mass. It's an up and coming city. It used to not be that great. A lot of people hear Worcester and they're like, kind of a crap town, but it's pretty good. It's not bad anymore. And yeah.
No, I grew up in the area too, so I still have my brother live in Worcester, and you know, I always love going back there. It still feels like home to me. Now I live out in Rochester, New York. But yeah, so where'd you go to? Did you go to school at a high school?
So I went to University of Rhode Island. After I went to Arcadia University for 1 year, and because they had a cool study abroad program, so I went to London for like a semester. So that was cool. But then when I got back to the school, I realized I didn't like it that much, so I transferred to URI. Did some ROTC Army training there. studied kinesiology, which is a study of like body movement and, physiology of your body. And I was looking to be a physician assistant, but obviously that didn't work out. You always study for stuff and things come up in life and you realize that you don't really want to do that. So I do have a kinesiology bachelor's hanging on the wall. I might not use it.
Yeah. That's all right, man. It sounds like you're doing great things still with real estate and all that. So up to you. And now I'll just move right on. So, why I wanted to bring you on today, the past year or so, I've noticed you've been posting very inspirational stuff on Facebook. We're still friends on there. So I've been seeing stories come up where you share, not only educational stuff to, make people aware, but also, inspiration from it. And, I think it's awesome. And I wanted to bring you on as soon as I could. So, just talk to us the background of it, how you found out you had diabetes and, just that whole process.
Yeah, so I also have type 1 diabetes, just to let you guys know. So yeah, type 1 diabetes, man. When it's been a year actually. It's been a year since I've been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. A little background of it was, obviously for 24 years I didn't have it. So it shows that diabetes can come later in life. It can also come right when you're born for type 1. What it really is basically my autoimmune system is attacking the beta cells on my pancreas. Beta cells make insulin. Insulin is what brings the sugar within your blood to your muscles to give you energy and be able to live. So I don't have insulin, so I have to give myself artificial insulin through like a pump or through a syringe or something just to live. So that's kind of a quick background of diabetes, and it's basically just we don't have insulin that at all, or we don't have insulin that works, and it depends on type 1 and type 2, which we can get in later.
Yeah, no, that's a great breakdown. So did you have anybody in your family with it, or was this totally out of the blue? How did you find out? Like, what was the moment like when you found out?
Yeah, nobody in my family has it, which is weird. The doctor, when they like explained it to me, that's the first question they asked was like, do you have anybody in your family that has it? And I was like, nope, not that I know of, not one person. They're like, oh, that's just strange, but it's a very unknown reason. Like, they don't understand the reasons why people get type 1 diabetes still. So that's just a kind of a box they check to maybe show that I was more prone to get it if I did have it in the family, but I didn't. And it's still like not normal to get, but it's not like people have gotten it before without it in the family. When I was diagnosed, as you know, I studied kinesiology in college. So we actually learned a lot about diabetes and the symptoms of it and stuff, and what causes it and how to exercise with it, whatever. So when I was actually at the gym, I do CrossFit, and I started getting weaker, even though I was training to work out my strength more and get heavier weight and stuff. And I was losing weight like astronomically fast. So every week I was losing like 5 pounds about, which is not healthy at all. I just thought, and for like the first 2 weeks, I was like, damn, must be working out really good, because I can like see like a nice 6-pack, like it's nice and like chiseled. I look great. And then like I started looking at myself and I'm like, why am I like, my whole body's getting like smaller. Like my legs were like small. My pants weren't fitting anymore. They were too big, too loose. My clothes were like loose and baggy. I was getting like hot, like night sweats and stuff. When I like ate food, I would get really tired and like fall asleep. When I was working out, after workout, I'd like lay on the ground and feel like I was gonna die for like 40 minutes, which I mean, sometimes you feel like you're gonna die after a CrossFit workout for like 5 minutes, but not 40. So I was like, Jesus. So
Dang, man.
Yeah, one night it just got overboard. I started guzzling like gallons of water, because one of the symptoms is you get really thirsty because you have so much sugar in your body that your body's like, drink water to pee it out. So subconsciously, like my brain was like, just drink water, and I just kept drinking, and I wasn't quenching my thirst, and I was like, all right, something's wrong. So then I went to the doctor, thought I had a UTI because I was just in disbelief that I could have like diabetes or something, and then they pricked my finger, saw like the sugar in my urine, and pricked my finger and noticed that I was at like 450 blood glucose, what is it, like milligrams per liter or something of blood, which is astronomically high. Like you could die with that. So
Yeah.
they're like, we don't know how you're walking around, so let's get you on some insulin and stuff and get you rolling.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure normal range is like, 80 to, I think it's like 120, 130. People even reach like the 200s, like that's normal for diabetics and stuff. But man,
like 450. Yeah, I think like there's like a chart I was looking at, and it's like when you get to 450, you're literally like your body just starts like shutting. Well, you go into like DKA, which I can talk about later. It's diabetic
acidosis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I might have been going to that. I don't know. But.
Yeah, no, let's so the main thing I saw on one of your Facebook stories, you were talking about misconceptions that people have about diabetes. And, I think that's crucial. It really highlights the importance of, knowing the differences between type 1, type 2. And it's great for, coaches as well as individuals, everybody just generally to know. So could you give some of that?
Yeah. So one of the main misconceptions that, I've run into, or when I talk to people, or when I bring up I have diabetes, especially the older generation, one of the first things they say is like, oh, I thought like you're pretty fit. Like I thought only like obese, like bigger people, unhealthy people get diabetes. So that's one of the main misconceptions. With type 1 diabetes, it's nothing about, what you did during your life that they know of. Like, who knows, down the line, I could have done something that they find out later. That's why. But it's not because of how you eat, not because of how you like work out. It's literally just a rare occurrence that made your autoimmune system think that the beta cells on your pancreas are like a foreign virus or a foreign entity that they need to get rid of. Something might have triggered it, like an outside virus that got into my body, and environmental factors could have triggered it. But it has nothing to do with like obesity and lack of exercise for type 1. For type 2, it usually does. So if you keep eating, say you eat candy every single day, like nonstop, you just eat candy. What that does in your body is it makes your blood sugar go up, because sugar is, it's like a simple carb. So it's very, very fast to digest, turn into glucose, and spike your blood sugar. If you keep constantly doing that, getting that whole like up and down of sugar like very quickly, the insulin in your body is going to get like overworked, is how I put it. So it gets worked to the point that it doesn't really know how to work with the glucose anymore. So what insulin does is it takes, when your blood sugar is going up, it takes the blood sugar and it takes the glucose out of your blood like a taxi. It comes and just takes it, and it breaks it down, and then it brings it to your muscles and places within your body that need the energy. With type 2 diabetes, if you keep on fluctuating sugar, eating crap and then not eating it, and then eating it like for a long term and not working out or anything, your insulin just starts losing like its ability to work as good. So type 2 diabetes can still make insulin. They just don't work as good. It's like insulin that just sucks, honestly. Yeah. Type 1s can't make insulin at all. So that's the main difference between them. And another big misconception is that we can't eat sugar or anything at all. That's not true. I can eat whatever I want. The thing is that I just have to manually calculate how much insulin to give myself. So a person with a normal pancreas, they can eat whatever they want, and their pancreas will just know exactly the amount of insulin to push out into the body to maintain a healthy balance of blood sugar within their blood. For me, I have to manually do it. So I have a pump that I type in like the amount of carbs that I eat, and it'll basically calculate how much insulin to give me based on my insulin to carb ratio. So look at me, like I'm like a manual car. I have to shift my gears. People with a working pancreas are just automatic. Like you guys can just go throughout your life.
Yeah.
And one last thing that I've come up on, another misconception, is that diabetes is contagious. No, it's not. If I sneeze on you or something, it's not like COVID. It's get you sick with diabetes. I don't know why people think that. It's just like lack of education, I guess, in some places around the U.S., just not having the proper education on it. But yeah, it's not contagious.
Yeah, I've never heard somebody thinking that.
Anyway,
it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Yeah, I'm sure you come across a lot of weird questions when you tell people you have diabetes, and
oh yeah.
But so, how does it affect you like daily? How often do you have to check your blood sugar? Is it every time before you work out? Every time before you eat? After you eat?
So, I have like devices that help me. But say I didn't have the devices, like a person that doesn't have access to these medical equipment, which I'll show you real quickly after I explain this. But so most people will prick their fingers like 6 to 8 times a day. They'll prick it when they first wake up in the morning to see where they're at. They'll prick it right before they eat breakfast, so they know where their blood sugar's at before they eat, so they can do their calculation of how much insulin they need.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do it before lunch, so that's 3, and they'll do it before dinner for the same reason. And then they'll do it like right before bed too, to make sure that they're at a good level to go to sleep. In between those, if you exercise, you might have to do it before you exercise to see where your blood sugar's at, because you don't want it dropping middle of a workout to you don't want it dropping, because dropping's worse than going high. If you drop very, very low, you can pass out and your body doesn't have like the energy to even like live, like your brain's not getting glucose to function. If it goes high, it's not good for you to be consistently high, or very high, like it's not good. But it's better to go high, because even though you feel like absolute crap, you have that glucose like within your body to like feed your brain so you can stay alive. But yeah, so say right before you work out, you prick your finger to see where you're at. And then sometimes even during the middle of a workout, you want to prick your finger again to see where you're at. And then obviously after you work out. So all that together, that's 8 for like someone that exercises.
Yeah, dang.
And that doesn't account for, say, you're like walking to your job and you're like, wow, I feel kind of crappy. Is it because it's Monday, or is it because my blood sugar's off? They'll just prick their finger to make sure. So it's constant thinking about your blood sugar,
Okay.
constant anxiety around it. Always wanting to make sure that you're in like the good zone of blood sugar, because it's just an extra like 100 things to think about a day. For me, I have like medical equipment that I got immediately. Like right when I got diabetes, I was like, I want, screw this. I'm not changing my life as much as possible. Like I'm going to get the pump that does it like as automatic as possible. I'm going to get a device that constantly monitors my blood glucose. And I don't care how much like it costs. I'm going to find a way to get it, because I don't want to interrupt my lifestyle in the way that I live. So I have a Dexcom, which is right here. This thing right here. What that does is sends every 5 minutes, it sends my blood glucose reading to an app on my phone, or even my Apple Watch, which I'm not wearing, but it'll tell me exactly what my blood glucose is every 5 minutes. And it also goes straight to my pump. And this is my pump right here.
Okay.
Right there. And on this pump, they actually have like a little line here. I don't want to like talk about it too much, but see like the little dots? Right there, the little dots. It shows the blood glucose
Okay.
levels. So right now I'm at like 106. I don't know if it's too blurry, but it says 106.
Okay.
And the dots every 5 minutes will pop up and show me like which way it's going. Is it going up? Is it going down? And with that, my device will also, if it's like shooting up really fast, it'll give me a little bit of insulin to try to, not let that happen as fast. It won't give me a lot. I would have to like manually give myself a lot, but it'll give me enough to like prevent it from skyrocketing. And then if it's going down, the pump will actually like not give me any more insulin to prevent it from going down even more. So, it's like a pancreas outside of my body, but it's not as good as a real pancreas.
No, that's really cool, man. That's some crazy equipment, and I'm sure it's not cheap. I know there's lower equipment you can get. I've actually fooled around with the finger prick, so you can just simply prick your finger, put it on a tab, it'll tell you your reading, and then I'll just log it into an app. And if I notice, after I eat something, if I reach the 200s or something, that might send an alert to me, I just monitor how food affected my blood sugar over time. And but it's good to know, the low scale of it and the high scale of the technology that comes with it.
And even like the finger pricking I still have to do because technology isn't perfect. So these are like disconnect. And because they're Bluetooth, so like, Apple doesn't update, and then like the Dexcom doesn't like update as quickly with it because Apple is, I don't know, they're just too fast, I guess, updating everything all the time.
Yeah.
But I finger prick myself like probably still 2 to 3 times a day. Also just to make sure that the technology is working, because that's probably the most accurate is finger pricking. So it's good to always double check and recalibrate the technology to make sure it's correct.
Interesting. So do you have a favorite like app that you used? I'm sure you went through a little bit of a process, or is it just with your equipment, the Dexcom? Or
yeah, like the Dexcom is a good one, just because as it takes in like the information to it gives me my A1C levels, which is like your average blood glucose over 3 months, and that's what doctors really look at the most. So it's cool that it gives me that because it calculates it. And that's where you want to like really focus on, is keeping your A1C like to the level that the doctors want it.
Okay.
But yeah, there's that app, and then I don't really use a lot of like the health diabetes apps to like track my meals and stuff. There are a lot of awesome apps out there that help that, but I'm pretty consistent with what I eat and stuff, and I'm not like too crazy when I eat like crappy food. Like I always eat kind of the same thing every day.
Yeah. So there's definitely the educational side. I think you taught us a lot about, what you do on the daily to deal with it and how it affects, your training, your nutrition, stuff like that. Is there a certain type of diet you follow?
Before I became diabetic, I was actually a pescatarian. So I just eat fish. I don't eat like meat or anything. Well, I eat fish, meat. Yeah. but I don't eat like processed or anything meat wise. I just felt like doing that as a challenge, like see if I could do it, and I stuck with it. And it's been pretty cool. Maybe one day I'll eat meat again. Maybe that's the reason I have diabetes. Who knows? Not probably
because I ate healthy. No, so you really don't have to adjust much at all.
Yeah. I mean, I always eat the same. I'm pretty consistent with what I eat. I'll have like an omelet in the morning, which right there is 0 carbs. So I don't have to give myself insulin for that. And I'll have like a yogurt, which is like 10 carbs. So I don't even give myself insulin for that either. That'll just bring up my blood glucose to like a little bit, and it'll like last me all the way until lunch. Then lunch, I just have like a wrap, like just something with some carbs, some carrots and stuff, and eat an apple. And then for like dinner, I have just like a salad with fish in it. That's pretty much what I eat most of the time.
Gotcha.
That's one thing that's affected me a lot for diabetes, which I don't mind, is you got to get in a routine of diet and what you eat, because you can understand exactly how your body reacts to what you eat. So if I basically eat the same thing every day, which some people would make them go insane.
Yeah.
But for me, I mean, food is just like fuel for me. So as long as I'm eating the right things and you get through the day, I'm happy with it. And if it's consistent and it keeps my blood sugar in check, then I'm even happier because I feel great. And then I work out in the morning usually, because that's when my insulin is the lowest in my body.
Okay.
Because when you work out, it makes your insulin work hard, because your muscles are like, wow, you're training me, I need energy. So they're going to like have the insulin bring them as much glucose as possible. So if you have a lot of insulin in your body, then you work out, your blood sugar is going to go down really quick because they're going to take all the glucose and bring it to your muscles because they need them at that moment.
Interesting.
But in the morning when I wake up, since I was sleeping for like 8 hours or so and not giving myself like big things of insulin, I don't have much in my body. So when I exercise, it stays pretty normal until like after I work out. And if I give myself insulin, then it'll go down. But yeah, it's just a thing that you work with. You get in routine. At first, it was definitely weird. My blood glucose was going up and down because I didn't understand. But once I understood how my body reacts to things, how my body reacts to the food that I eat, you can really regulate it and basically have a normal life.
Deal, man. So something I also wanted to bring up, I noticed through Facebook you've been donating to the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation and asking people to donate along with you, and you tell.
Yeah, so this organization is pretty awesome. It's called the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. So another name for type 1 diabetes is juvenile, because normally you get diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when you're younger, like before age 14, because that's when they find it out. It's kind of rare for it to be later in life, but once again, they don't really understand the disease that well. So it can happen to anybody. It can happen to someone that's like 65. You don't really know. But yeah, that organization is awesome because what they do is they take all the money that's donated and go and put it into research to find a type 1 diabetes cure. And their whole point is to create a world without type 1 diabetes. And one thing that's sad is that the government doesn't really put enough research into finding a cure. Because once they kind of found insulin in like 1920, they realized that they have like a medicine to help people with diabetes live. Like they can live a long, normal life. But they kind of put diabetes on the back burner. I feel like they're like, all right, we have like a way to sustain people's lives, so we don't have to like put as much money into research. But so this organization is totally into finding a cure, and they also use that money to advocate towards the government to tell them like the importance of still researching for a cure and not just focus on, making insulin prices lower, finding ways to make insulin cheaper. If we have a cure, then we don't even have to worry about insulin, Yeah. And I think I posted something cool on like my social media. It was, I think, $337 billion going to diabetes as a whole, like every year. And it's just growing. That was in 2017. So it's probably up to like the 400s now. Just think about that. That's like the #1 medical expense in the United States. And if we found a cure for, diabetes, found out more about how it happens and how to fix it and how to, help someone that has it get better, get a better working pancreas, then that money wouldn't be so high as an expense in the United States. But
yeah,
they just need to keep working on it more.
Yeah.
So,
no, it sounds like a great foundation. And I did a little research on them before this, and it's actually interesting because they're 20 minutes from me. They're actually from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they originate in Rochester, and their office is right down the road from one of our offices on literally the same street.
Dude, that's awesome.
Or the company I work with, I should say. No, it's pretty wild. So yeah. No, next thing I want to move to, one of the last things is you really brought us a lot of education. So I also want to talk about the inspirational side. You've had some very inspirational posts, and just, how it's affected your outlook on life. So something I want to show people is this post you have right here. So could you talk to us a little bit about what this post is about?
Oh, yeah. So I posted this on Instagram and Facebook. When I got diagnosed, before I was diagnosed, I thought like I was invincible. I'm sure some of us go through that moment when you're kind of like, maybe not, maybe I'm just weird. but I just like acted like in life I was invincible, that nothing could stop me. Like I was gonna die. Like I was young. I could do whatever I want. But then obviously I got diagnosed, and that brought a lot into my life to realize that life is like precious. Life is awesome because it's just an amazing thing to always live, and it made me really like think less negative, which is kind of weird. You would think that diabetes would make me like think more negative because I'm like, why me? But what it did was it really gave me like a new outlook on my life, that life is obviously precious and I got to make the best of it. So this post right here was just showing kind of like right before I was diagnosed and after I kind of got a grasp on living with type 1 diabetes. So if you see the two pictures at the bottom, the one on the right is me like right before I was diagnosed, and there's like a video on my social media as well showing it. If you like compare the two, you can see how skinny I am and how my legs are like literally like they look like twigs. Like you can see like through my shirt, you can see like my ribs and stuff as I'm working out. Like I'm wicked skinny and just like look sick. And like that amount of weight there was like something that I could usually move pretty well. I think it was like 150 pounds or something. But and I failed it. So like that video just shows me like failing, like struggling really hard and feeling like absolute crap. And then it just goes to show that if you, even though I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, no matter what you're thrown at in life, as long as you take it as a challenge and just overcome it, it's just going to make you stronger. So the video on the left just shows me doing like a lot more weight, and I do it a lot more easier. Once I got a firm grasp on type 1 diabetes, and I'm actually stronger than I've ever been now, and the most healthy I would say that I've been, even though I have diabetes, which is pretty cool. It just goes to show, like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but it goes to show just if stuff gets thrown your way in life, just take it, evaluate it, figure it out, and just come back stronger. Just figure out a way to defeat it, make yourself better, and just live life to the fullest and keep kicking ass. Nothing can hold you back. It's just all about you and how you handle it mentally, and it's all about attitude.
Absolutely, man. So, I mean, that's a lot of weight. For people that don't know, he's doing a clean and jerk, and how much weight you think you can pull for a clean and jerk? Let's say you picture what
Yeah, I think that one was like 195, and even now I could probably do more than that. Like it's just I keep working at it, and just keep working. Keep making yourself better in life. To be honest, don't let anything knock you down.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to read a portion of this because I just thought this was a great post. So sure. I'm going to start right here. So I look back to that old video because it shows how weak and sick I was. It shows that even though some crazy, out of my control circumstance happened in my life, I am overcoming it. Now I'm stronger than I've ever been. This disease actually made me better. Sometimes I still have bad diabetic days. Nothing is perfect, but that's what makes life fun. I think it's fun facing life's challenges and overcoming them. I welcome shit to be thrown my way. It only makes me better than I was before once I overcome it. I think that's human nature, and we should all attack obstacles with a smile. If you're not trying to get better, what's the point? I really think I was given this disease for a reason. This disease changed my perspective on life. It has made me appreciate the little things a lot more and want to live life to the absolute fullest. So have fun, let go of negativity, take chances, keep learning, and do what makes you happy. Life is the ultimate gift, and everyone needs to take advantage of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't read that post in a while, but that's still exactly how I feel.
Just an awesome message, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So, I think we're ready to wrap this up here. So I just want to, I have one last question for you. Is there a resource you'd like to tell people about, or is there, somebody that stands out in your life that inspired you? Is there a book, It could be literally any resource. It could be
Yeah.
a podcast.
Yeah. So one of the books that I read, a lot of people read this book. It's called like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It just lets you really, this isn't about diabetes or anything. This is about life as a whole. What it talks about is how to think outside the box, realize that there's a lot more in life than just maybe going to like a job that you hate every single day and then coming home and doing the same thing every day. So if you feel stuck in life and you want to just think about other ways to live life, other ways to approach life, Rich Dad Poor Dad is really cool because it gives you like a broad understanding of many different ways you can just succeed in life.
Great, man.
And that's it. Yeah, that book's kind of what got me started in like real estate and stuff. It just opens up a ton of point of views and gives you different outlooks. I'd like learned to love reading. I didn't like reading before I got diagnosed actually, but now I like read. I like learning, and it's just pick up a book and read. Everybody, read anything.
It's crazy how that works. Like I got into the whole health and fitness, started reading on that, and I used to love reading, and 10 years or so I just dropped it, and now I'm back into doing a lot of research obviously, and it's really changed a lot of things for me, and that's one book that I've heard before, and I know I got to get to read at some point, so I appreciate you sharing that. Now, is there places people can reach you if they want to learn more about you, connect with you?
Yeah. So I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter. My ads are like Wendell. What are they?
That's all right.
We'll put it. Yeah, we can put it in like the description. But it's just Wendell Butler IV. But I'm also on Facebook and stuff. You can just look me up if you have questions. Like if anybody's watching this that maybe is recently diagnosed or something, have questions and need like support, you can always reach out to me anytime. You can message me, direct message. I'll talk to you, help you out through it. Everybody's different, but I got it. We can all go through this life together. We're all on a floating rock. We're all just trying to live life,
Yeah. No, I could tell that. I mean, right when I saw posts like the one I just read, you're very easy to reach out to, very easy to, line up for this interview. So I really appreciate you coming on, man. This has been a great interview, and I'll make sure that I link, Facebook, Instagram, ways people can connect with you, as well as that Juvenile Diabetes Fund if people want to go donate. Are you going to keep that open?
Yeah, so I'll keep that open for a while. Even if you go to the link and it's not open anymore, that's just a great organization to donate to. So check it out. Do some donations if you can. If you can't, at least share it. Let people know about diabetes and the education, and just let people know that to read about it a little more, because it's very prevalent in our life in the world. It's one of the top growing like chronic illnesses. So it's just good to share, get it out. And if my donation's not there anymore, then you can just donate straight to the organization. It's a great organization. So
yeah, man. All right. I'll also add a link just to the organization itself, just in case it's past that date. Again, I guess we'll just end it, man. It's great talking to you, great catching up, and I really appreciate you coming out and talking to everybody about this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was nice, talking about this, and I hope people find value.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people will. And all right, take it easy, Dell.
All right, see you later, Jake.
Bye.
All right, well, there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed that discussion. I know I did. But let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. If you liked that video, please hit the like button. Please also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And last but not least, please share this video with your friends and family. If you want to get to know Dell a little more, you can look in the description below. I will share his socials. And also, I will share a link to the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, where you can go donate. And I'll also leave a link to my personal website, 12paths.com, where you can get to know a little more about me and what I do. I have an upcoming book series through Inspiring Leaders Collective, which is going to be my new website for the book series. So I hope that you check it out. But anyways, I really appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you next time.